Right, what's everyone bloody moaning about then, eh?
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Hey guys, what's happening? How are you doing? Good, I hope. Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. Everyone's losing their minds a little bit on the social media. I know that's not the best place to have a temp check on the general fan feeling. Chelsea, of course, winless in their first two pre-season games under new gaffer Enzo Maresca, most notably getting touched up 4-1 by those Scottish Celtics. Yeah, man, people are getting frustrated, upset. I think it's a little bit silly, but this happens every single pre-season for every single club in every single scenario. So we'll talk about that a little bit. I also do want to speak about Guus. Of course, he's impressed everyone, but Maresca is impressed with him as well. Court of Side has published an article on that this morning. So we'll talk about that. Positives, Kunku. I know my boy Wes Fana catching a lot of heat on social media for having a bit of a shaky performance after his 12 months out, first start playing any football. We'll talk about that as well. And we've got a new goalkeeper, Philip Jorgensen, so maybe a little bit on Philip as well. Strap yourselves in, boys, girls, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me as always. I've got this hot day, sweaty under my smartwatch. Keep getting a rash on my wrist. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Road to 200,000 subscribers. Beautiful scenes. Let's get into it. So yeah, first of all, Philip Jorgensen, new goalkeeper, Villarreal. Mixed reviews I've heard. Some people are excited. Some people have said it's not much of an upgrade of anything else we've got at the moment. I, therefore, am reserving my opinion until we see him play. Look, clearly Edison's now off the table. I never thought he was on the table, but that's the kind of like big boy business I would have liked to have gone for. You know, we're not going to buy Mike Mignon. So there's a lot of sort of like, under these few elite, you know, whether they're available and or attainable or not, there's like a bunch of will they work, won't they work? And I guess Philip Jorgensen represents one of those. 20 million quid. His release clause was 38 million quid. So if he turns out to be good, that would prove to be excellent and positive business. Right then. So, Chelsea lost, of course, again yesterday. I did do a match review, match reaction in my previous upload last night. Stayed up to watch what was a radically high line with players not necessarily knowing what they were doing yet. Maresca has been quite sort of philosophical and calm about it, saying, yeah, there's times where we're not pressing properly and then we need to drop deep, which we're not doing. And of course, we saw it in the game. It was evident. We had like an almost Ange Postecoglou-esque high line at times that made us very vulnerable. Despite, it was a bit like chaotic. Look, man. Firstly, I've got to defend my guy Wesley. My position remains the same. I think Wesley Fofana can be the best centre back in world football. That's it. I think he's that good. I think he's really. I think he's an excellent natural defender. He's aggressive. He can score. He can maraud into midfield. He can ball carry. I genuinely think he's got it all. He's obviously had a really, really bad injury. He's been out for a year. That was his first start yesterday in a new style of football, and he didn't play very well. Look, is Wesley Fofana going to live up to his potential? It remains to be seen. Is Maresca the guy to get it out of him? It remains to be seen. But what it shouldn't be up for debate. You know, I don't know why I'm getting wound up by it, but, you know, you've got Gary Lineker on Match of the Day when Chelsea signed him for 69 million. He says, it's a good deal for Chelsea. You know, this guy is, he really has it all, obviously, being a Leicester fan, Lineker, watching him closely. He was my favourite defender in the Premier League that didn't play for Chelsea. And when we were, looking for a defender that summer, we were being linked to all sorts of players like De Ligt and others, and I was just like, just ask Leicester and see if we can get Fofana. Just see if we can get him. And it's almost like it manifested out of nowhere. And like I thought, well, they're going to want a world record fee. They're going to, they sold Maguire for 80 million. They're going to want to sell Fofana for more, who's got more to his game and is younger. And they originally said that we want like 85 million. We got him for 69 million. I thought it was an absolute steal for the profile and caliber of player. Of course, Chelsea's been chaotic since we've signed him. That's not his fault. He had a horrible injury. And is he going to sort of reach those levels, demonstrating that ability as he was doing before the injury? I'm not so sure. I'm hoping that, I'm praying. And of course, he's a Chelsea fan, which I love. I love being a French guy myself, and him being a French Chelsea fan, and, you know, loving Drogba and all that kind of stuff. I love it. We'll see what happens there, but I appreciate he played badly. The whole team played badly. So pre-season, guys, let's just sort of have a little bit of a reality check here. Man City, the greatest club side possibly of all time, with the greatest manager possibly of all time, have lost 2 in a row. Also to Celtic. Celtic are ready. They're out of the oven. They're about to start their season. We are so far undercooked. Celtic were all over Manchester City as well. Man City just lost to Milan yesterday, and it was a heavily rotated side from Milan, I think, certainly, looking at some of the players that played. The pre-season is about one thing, or two things: fitness and analysis of individuals. And we'll speak about Guus in a moment, right? And he's obviously starting all the games at the moment. He's getting a proper look at what he can do to see if, when it gets real, when it gets serious, can he be one of the boys, you know? That's all it is. We lost to Rapid Vienna 2-0 when Conte came in. Then we won the Premier League. And then, I said that on social media, and everyone reacted like, well, yeah, of course, Jan, but Conte also is really good, and he changed the system, and we won the league. Yeah, Conte is really good. But just look, yeah. Conte's really good. He cost loads of money, won the league. We know what Maresca's potential. Maresca's not Antonio Conte. And also, Antonio Conte had prime Thibaut Courtois, prime Eden Hazard, prime N'Golo Kante, prime Diego Costa. He had Pedro and Willian and Matic and, you know, everyone else. Do you know what I mean? Azpilicueta, like John Terry, which, you know, didn't use, but he had super Galactico players. And, we lost 2-0 to Rapid Vienna. It's pre-season, bro. It just is what it is. And not only that, we're not, and, Mourinho was a pragmatist, and Conte was a pragmatist. We're going from, Pochettino's more chaotic brand of football to this very dogmatic, philosophical style of football. It's a radical change. If we won 4-1, I would of course been on social media joking, like, oh, we're going to win the Premier League, joking. But the truth is, it will matter the same amount as if we lost 4-1. It'll be a bit of a confidence boost. It's nice for the fans out in America on the preseason tour. We get to see that, get to see goals, because that's what they want. They support Chelsea. They don't want to watch Chelsea get touched up 4-1 by Celtic. But it is what it is, man. It doesn't mean anything. Didn't we have an amazing preseason last campaign, and then we just started terribly, and it took to the very right at the end of the season to get going again? If you read too much into preseason, then you need to give your head a wobble, mate. Of course, you'd rather win than lose. That's just how it goes. But it's just not worthy of this, dismal attitude, especially when you consider what's actually happening and what we're trying to do here is start again. And, we haven't seen our top, most productive players yet in Palmer and Jackson. We haven't seen, 220 million pounds of midfielders and Caicedo and Fernandez. Obviously he brings his own drama that's going to hopefully be resolved. So just chill. It needs time. We're 3 weeks out before the beginning of the season, and it's more just having a look at what's going on here. And also, let's remember, the window remains open, and this is identifying weaknesses in individuals' games and seeing what we need to bring in. One geezer looks freaking wicked is Mark Guus. I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. He looks like he's got the full repertoire of a striker. He can run in behind. He's very strong. I referenced the fact how he does that thing that Ruben Loftus-Cheek does. Well, loads of footballers do, but I loved it when Ruben did it, where he just literally turns his shoulders like that and people bounce off him when he's holding the ball up. He just throws his weight slightly. He's really, really good at that. He's good at running in behind. We've obviously seen him chest down balls to combine with forwards. Even though he's had really low value chances, he's still been really sharp between the ears to stick a leg out your back post, stick a knee out on a rebound, try and get it in. I want to see the ball fall to him in the 18-yard box when he's got a moment, proper high-value chance. Because everything else, he looks freaking wicked. I think he looks wicked, personally. Court of Sides wrote this following article. Enzo Maresca is pleased with the performances of Mark Guus and admitted at this point in time the teenager is going to remain at the club. Of course, we got slapped up by Celtic 4-1. He's the 18-year-old Spanish striker started, and he played he's played loads of minutes in these two games. The Blues are reportedly still in the market for a striker to compete with Nico Jackson, but if Guus continues to impress, they may shelve those plans. Guus arrived from Barca, of course, for £5 million, which still blows my mind. One of the best young talents. He came through La Masia. He scored on his debut 24 seconds after coming on, scoring the winner, of course. Following his move to Chelsea, many people have expected him to be loaned out. He was even being linked to Sevilla, I think. However, the Spain under-19 international has impressed with his performances against Wrexham and Celtic in the absence of Jackson, and Maresca has revealed after the game that as things stand, the youngster will be a part of the first team squad next season. Quote, "The idea with Mark, with all the young players, is to have a look at him now during pre-season and then to make the decision altogether." That is what pre-season is, guys. We're having a look. We're having a look at players. We haven't decided this is how we're going to, operate in the Premier League and this is how we're going to, get things going. Because in Man City, you're going to get relegated as well. Do you know what I mean? So they're just losing games. So this is what it's about. I think Mark is doing well, and he's one of the guys in this moment that's going to stay with us, and he is not going to go somewhere. He's basically saying, I've looked at him, I've seen enough, he's ruddy wicked. So Guus has He's impressed in several aspects of his game, including his movement off the ball, his pressing, and his strength. And his pressing he's just super tenacious. He looks like an absolute handful. It's just superb. Of course, it's the early days, and there'll be many tougher tests that lie ahead for Guus, but so far he's made a positive start, and the striker could end up saving Chelsea millions if they don't have to dip into the market for another forward. Yeah, man, in terms of positives so far, I mean, for me, he's the big one, Guus. You could say Nkunku's got 2 goals in 2 games. He's one of those players in Nkunku that you feel like whether he plays good or he doesn't play good, he's just always going to seem to get a goal. He's just got that sort of juju about him that one way or another will get a goal. He'll either play really well and get a goal, or he will frustrate you and somehow just score a penalty or score a tap in. And that's the kind of Diego Costa vibes, even though he's not like a player like Diego Costa at all. I want on the pitch. I want that guy who's just that good luck charm that's just going to score. He is an elite finisher in Nkunku. I've said it until I've gone blue in the face. He can do all kinds of finishes, whether it's instinctive, like a sniffer in the box, a poacher, or if it's a little bit more silky, a little bit more cloak and dagger running in behind, or even a glancing header on set pieces despite not being tall. He just scores goals. He's positionally versatile, radically versatile, but everywhere. He can play striker, second striker, left wing, right wing, a number 10, or even a slightly withdrawn player as well, a little bit more withdrawn, like a sort of offensive 8. He can do it all. You want him on the pitch. He's comfortable moving into different positions, really intelligent. For me, he has to be on the pitch. I'd play him. Yeah, I just find a way to keep him in the starting lineup personally. Despite him being fit, Lavia being fit, just not being injured and being part of the games and looking happy, that's a big tick for me. Reece James just being part of the squad. He hasn't lit up the pitch yet in his new position, but just no injuries, players doing training, players, hopefully this Fernandez situation gets resolved. Positive. This is all you want from pre-season. This is, if you can win games, great. But what's the main thing? Squad coming together, getting to know each other, getting fit, not getting injured, and slowly learning the manager's ideas. It's frustrating if you've paid money and you're going to watch these games. And I know loads of you guys who watch my content have people on social media, and that sucks. It definitely sucks. I mean, I hope people still enjoy the experience. I hope the games do, produce goals for the fans out watching, and hopefully you get to meet the players and have a nice time generally. That's what football is about. So I hope that for all those people going to the games that's the case. But these people hopefully accept as well that the main reason for pre-season is making sure that stuff is done. So when the competitive games start, that Chelsea are in a good position to win those. So yeah, that, and like I said, very excited about Guus. I would love it. I said it in recent videos. I'd love it if he just is really good and becomes Chelsea's starting striker for $5 million. I would just think it's so funny. It will be a historic piece of narrative that we took a La Masia striker of Barcelona for absolutely nothing, and he's just wicked, and he plays in the Premier League and just looks wicked in the Premier League. That would be so fun. That would be great fun, and I just want that to happen. Yeah, man. Like, you know, at the moment, like, you know, Jackson on the left, Palmer on the right, and Kunku in the middle, with, I don't know, Dewsbury Hall and whoever you want to play in there. I'm feeling good. You know, we'll see what happens with Jorgensen in goal as well. And by the way, you know, watch my review of yesterday's game. I speak about the good and the bad from Sanchez in that game, etc. Put it out to you guys. What do you think about the preseason so far? Are you getting worried or are you chilled? Do you expect us to get a lot better? Please leave your comments down below. As always, I'll thank you for dropping a like, supporting the content. If you do want to subscribe, you're most welcome to. If you choose to, hit the bell. Yeah, man, and I'll see you back here soon, hopefully. Peace.